Hi there, my name is Jill Potter. I am a life coach specializing in loving relationships for women. I'm so glad you could join me here today. And I'm glad that you are a woman who is seeking to have great love in her life with a quality man or quality mate. I hope that in this short time together, I can give you some words of encouragement. I know that back in my single days, I certainly needed a lot of encouragement, and that's what I hope to be for you here today. I hope that I can make your journey a little clearer at this point. So a little bit about me. I am 50 years old. I turned 50 this last summer, and on my 50th birthday, my grandson was born. So I'm now a grandmother to a super cute 9-month-old guy. I have 5 children ranging in age from 9. My youngest, my son, is 9, and then 4 daughters. My oldest daughter is 27, and enjoy the kids so much. They just add tremendously to my life, and very blessed to have my kids and all the challenges and all the joys that they bring. I am in a relationship with Richard, a committed relationship. We will be dating 2 years this coming July 5th. He has 2 grown sons who I also adore. And Richard and I are doing really well. Best relationship of my life so far. Although all the relationships that I've been in have taught me a lot. I feel that this is the relationship that I have been working for. And I am the poster child that it can happen. In the course of my years leading up until meeting Richard, I had a 12-year marriage that ended in divorce. And on either side of my marriage, before my marriage, after my marriage, I spent a number of years dating, mostly as a single mom. So I feel that I have made pretty close to every mistake that can be made out there in dating and in relationships. Although I was always seeking, I always wanted to be in a loving relationship. So if that is you, then I applaud you because, seek and you shall find. I remember a funny little story when I met my oldest daughter's partner's parents for the first time. We were out to lunch, and my daughter decides to just throw me right under the bus and confess for me that I'm a serial dater. So at which point, I kind of wanted to just kind of crawl under the table and hide away. And my daughter's then partner's father came to my defense and said, "No, she just hasn't found the right one yet." And that was it. I just hadn't found the right one yet. I was ever searching, though. So in my search, I learned a few things. And I wanted to share with you here what I consider to be 3 of the top mistakes, and there are many, but we only have time for 3 here, that smart women make that keep them from having a loving relationship with a quality man. So, are you ready? Here we go. Mistake number 1 is, you've heard it before, and I'm going to say it again, you just don't love yourself. And loving yourself is absolutely crucial to attracting a loving partner. There's no getting around it. And I think the reason why, I know I got kind of tired of hearing people say, "Oh, you need to love yourself first," or I'd read it everywhere, "You need to love yourself first," because I really felt quite disconnected from the concept of loving myself. I don't even know that I really knew myself very well until recently. I feel like I could write a biography about pretty much everybody else that I knew. I could write a description about them, but if you'd asked me to do it about myself, I didn't have that same connection. So here's the scoop. If you do not like, appreciate, value, and cherish yourself enough, you are not going to attract that in a partner. you are going to attract the people that feel the same way about you as you do. So if you are super critical of yourself and give yourself a really hard time over everything and don't think you're worth much and don't take care of yourself, don't listen to yourself, don't appreciate your thoughts, don't value what you want, you are going to attract a partner or partners who feel the same way and are going to keep validating those feelings that you have about yourself. So, you can't change the kind of guy you end up with until you change how you are with and about yourself. And that just takes some going deep down and listening to yourself, doing the necessary healing that you need to do in order to be more at peace with yourself. And really just taking that time with yourself, not being so distracted all the time, just starting to be with yourself. I know that I was constantly scrambling to just not have to spend any time alone with myself or have those quiet moments with myself. And those are the moments where I realized that that's when I experienced myself, was when I slowed down, really took some time to reflect, find out who I was and what I liked about myself and what I maybe didn't like so much about myself, and explore that a little bit, try to get some peace around that. So your relationship with yourself is really key. And there's no quick way to get to know yourself. It's just a process that you begin by just being with yourself, whatever that looks like for you. I've never been a big meditator. I always found it very challenging to sit still, but I have found that having the quiet walk in the morning, I can kind of just observe my own thoughts, reflect on the kind of things that I think and worry about, and learn to value myself a little bit more, certainly. I've also had to do a significant amount of healing, from past hurts and disappointments that, left me feeling less than great about myself. So there's all that. So mistake number 2 that smart women make that keeps them from having a successful relationship with a quality man is that they actually just don't really believe he's out there. And this was me 100%. I definitely got into a lot of corners where I just felt like he's not out there. I mean, there isn't anybody that's going to be the kind of person I'm looking for. All the good ones are taken, or married. They're married, or if they're out there and they're single, they're no good because they didn't do a good job as a husband or a boyfriend. Nobody wanted them, and so there just were no good guys out there. Feeling like maybe I'm just too damaged. Maybe I'm just supposed to live my life out as a single person and, spend a lot of time doing charity work. I don't know. I had a range of my version of he's just not out there. And I know I cried on many a shoulder, and it just took me a while to turn that around. What I know now is that if you are longing to have a great relationship with a quality man, this is what's on your heart right now, then he is out there. That ideal partner is out there. And once I started realizing that was true, it really changed my behavior quite a bit. Because if you're really believing that he's out there, you're going to think differently. Like, well, if he's really out there, then I could meet him when I leave the house today. I mean, I could meet him. He could come to my door, I guess. I mean, not that it usually happens that way, but I'm going to find him here at some point. So it really changed how I behaved. Everything from how I dressed, how I took care of the way I looked, to just having a little bit of a better attitude, because if you really believe in what you want, that it's coming to you, you're just going to feel generally a lot more optimistic and hopeful that this is going to happen. And it's, there's a lot of excitement that goes with that. So I think that, you start to radiate that belief, and, that helps you to attract in what you want. Also, I actually started, I can't remember how long it was before I started dating Richard, but I began to speak to him. Call it crazy, but I just started talking to the guy. I even one time asked him how long I was going to have to wait. And I got a response from him, which was, "I'm already here." And it was just absolutely lovely and comforting moment. So don't be afraid to talk to your future partner. It's just a great thing to do. All right, so thing number 3, top mistake smart women make that keeps them from having a loving relationship with a quality man, is being unwilling to get out of your comfort zone. So this could take a lot of forms. For me, I was a little bit shy about going into new situations, trying new things, as kind of a creature of habit. And I just really wasn't putting myself out there. I had my life. I took care of my kids. I worked for myself. Back then I was cleaning houses and making cakes, and I was kind of isolated. So for me, to spend more time socializing with others was really getting out of my comfort zone. But it also showed me that I was a very social person, and I really need that interaction to be as happy as I can be. I started thinking about maybe some cool, fun things I wanted to do for myself. Like I recently picked up the ukulele and started going to the ukulele jam at the library. That's my version of getting out of the comfort zone. It's, it looks different for everybody. Maybe it's just being willing to say yes to the friends who keep inviting you over for a barbecue, or, get a gym membership and start working it. So whatever that looks like for you, it's different for all of us. There's always those places where we don't want to go. We're too afraid. We're kind of comfy. We get very comfy in our usual routine and lifestyle. So really trying anything different, following a hunch, taking a different road on the way home, all those kinds of things can really, start to shift your energy a little bit and open you up to receiving something new. So there you go, a little bit about some very big topics, what I consider the top 3 mistakes smart women make when it comes to having a loving relationship with a quality man. I hope that you received something from what I've shared with you today. And I would love to offer you a free half-hour coaching session where we can kind of take a look at where you're at and where you would like to be, and maybe discover some of the things that are getting in your way and make a plan for how we can move through some of those barriers and challenges. So have a great day. I look forward to talking with you some more sometime, and take care. Good luck in your search. Bye-bye.